Good morning. We are back at the Prosperity Channel. It is morning in Asia right now, in some parts of Asia, and this is an exclusive for our Asian investors. As promised, we're going back with a series of programs focusing on where to place your money in the U.S. stock market, the bond market, treasury bonds, and the list goes on. We are at the Prosperity Channel here in Oklahoma City, and it is mid-afternoon here right now, and we would like to immediately make a big bet on Nvidia, because we see so much potential in that stock in the near term and long term. There's some fluctuations along the way, but Nvidia is still the stock to beat. And the reasons are very basic at this point in time, as we give you a full analysis that can be sent to your office or your private abode. We are betting actually on JENSEN HUANG, the CEO of Nvidia. For one basic reason, he was the guy that really envisioned this new types of semiconductors that would fit the ever-growing, the future of the industry, which is artificial intelligence. Nvidia right now is on an up and down situation. But once the Trump administration, or should I say the Trump government, will stabilize by early next year, or probably a year after, you will see the stock market grow like anything, similar to what we saw in the early 2000 era. And so I'd like to tell you, make your early bets right now so there won't be any confusion whatsoever. Give me a call at 405-503-8511. We are the only video program out there in America and in other parts of the world that will provide you the answer immediately. And this is not my own analysis, but my other co-partners, and we're very attuned to we're very well grounded to what's happening in America. As you very well know, I only bet on certain stocks that I am familiar with, and we have direct access to the given CEOs. In other words, we have a working relationship with them. And at the same time, we ask questions directly to their team members. And that's what makes us always updated. And we are also focused in other stock markets, including Asia and Western Europe. And we would like to make one thing very clear. You can call us up anytime at 405-503-851 to answer your questions directly. To answer your questions directly. We are the only ones that can do that. And if you have further questions, because there are certain legalities on that, we do not want to overcommit on what we can do and what we cannot do. And our email address is superdeals1494@gmail.com. So that our lawyers will tell you exactly what our limitations are. And don't get me wrong, we've been copied so many times again. And we're trying to change the rules of the game because we want to make sure that once we make a recommendation like Nvidia and the rest, we are well grounded. What does that mean? We know what's exactly happening to the actual scenario and not projections. Of course, we like projections, but projections are based on what's happening right now. So I'd like to be very clear on that. So we're very, very grounded, you know. We are operations people. We were the guys behind the success story of Procter & Gamble Global. And you can ask that directly to Mr. John Moeller. We were the guys behind the growth of Unilever in the 1990s. In fact, the brands of Unilever right now are all because of my team. The growing brands, the spectacular brands of Unilever is because of my team way back in the Philippines from 1986 to 1987. And then the purchase was done by Unilever from Cheesebro Ponds in the 1990s. So we have a long-standing relationship with the Unilever group. However, there are certain people, in fact some Filipinos, who practically did some violent acts when I was in Manila that almost led to my death because of the lack of information, updated information of what I could have further done for Unilever. And Mr. Fernando Fernandez knows about that, the current CEO of Unilever. So going back to the future stocks, because the growth stocks continue to be in the technology sector. The manufacturing sector is practically dead, sad to say, all because of mismanagement. That's why most CEOs in that field come and go, because most do not, I repeat, do not achieve the net revenue numbers. And if they do, it's simply a very small number compared to what technology stocks can do. So I'd like to be very clear, we are very, very well grounded in the United States of America. We are operations guy. I am an operations guy ever since 1982. Our predictions are based on what's happening in the ground. It is not, or will never be, a projection based on numbers alone. It is based on what is happening in the given markets, one market at a time, before we come out with a statement. That's why we are very confident with Nvidia. In fact, okay, this is the latest on General Electric. It continues to be a difficult stock because of what happened in the past. What am I trying to tell you? There is a lot of conflict that happened in the past, resulting to this very, very lackadaisical, for a lack of a better term, number of General Electric. And the old saying, nobody is indispensable. Nobody, no CEO is indispensable. No vice president is indispensable. No manager is indispensable. That is the #1 fallacy in America today. Nobody is indispensable. That is the #1, numero uno, señores, señoras, because we are also being listened to by our connections, deep connections in Mexico. When you say that, you are really putting a lot of fire on those words. Anybody can become Alan G. Lafley. Look at Procter & Gamble right now. Again, they are wishing A.G. Lafley to come back after the tenure, of course, with a productive tenure at that, of Mr. John Mueller. And the list of CEOs out there in America is very precarious. Why? Because the CEO tenure right now is like a management tenure, which is bad. Because they select the hire and fire mode of thinking in America is the second most dangerous thing. Because if you fire a caliber such as Alan G. Lafley, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me, baby. Because the systems evolve quickly, and you need talent, and talent is not developed overnight. It happens through time. And that is the sad story of America today. But don't get me wrong, there are certain new talents out there, including our team, that would like to develop American talent. And that is why our Prosperity Channel will be growing leaps and bounds. Because not everybody can train a CEO. Not anybody can train a CFO. Not anybody can train a COO. Unlike in the past, that is one of the failures of the United States of America. By simply saying anybody, forgive me for being redundant, because that is the #1 fallacy of the corporate world today. Anybody can become an Alan G. Lafley. Oh, really? And look at all these companies really struggling to sustain big figures. Best Buy, great company. Cons Home Plus used to be a great company. Look at it now. It's gone, or nearly gone. All because of, really, leadership management, which is what we call in America as a chief executive officer. That name will also change because of the Prosperity Channel. Because right now, America is looking at the CEO like a team leader. It's that bad, ladies and gentlemen. They come and go. Why? Because of the wrong mentality. Because of the wrong selection. And then they say, well, can we get them back? Unlike in Japan, it's more of an intersection management approach. What is that? Before they leave, they don't leave instantly. They don't hire and fire instantly. It is on an intersection mode. You get fired not based on an immediate decision by the board. You get fired based on a percentage basis. How do I define that? Let's say you are 100% a CEO, and now you are going to become, let's say, a board of director, because you never fire CEOs. You make them part of your board. That is the smart way of doing it. You do not fire based on emotion, which is the norm in America. Hire and fire. Hire and fire. Oh, really? Then look at your company right now. Prosperity is based on stability. Prosperity is based on numbers. And then you ask me, why is the economy like that? It's because of the CEO management. And I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, in Japan, they listen to me day by day. In South Korea, who is the norm there right now? Me. Why? Because we go a long way. You know, in Manila right now, it's just like a small South Korean market. In the Philippines, in a stupid third world country like the Philippines, we have so many South Koreans there right now. Why? Because of me. I'd like to underline that, okay? You can check it out. You can go to Manila right now. Why are there many rich, affluent South Koreans in Manila? Because of the leadership skills I put in there, okay? In the Philippines, in California, some parts of New York, and some parts in the East Coast. I am the standard, forget for that most bastardized word, standard. I would say I am the person that they listen to me a lot with respect to the booming economy in South Korea. And by the way, South Koreans are the most intelligent executives in Asia today. They beat the Chinese because they always think long term, and they're faster than the Chinese. Okay, and they already know where the bad apples are, so they have that uncanny ability to hire the good ones and discard immediately the bad apples, so to speak. And they're very responsible, okay? And they're very, very forceful of what is good for the company. And so you look at South Korea right now. It is so wealthy. You know, I've been there several times, by the way. And they're very mature. You know, they're very, they don't make small things look big, you know. Unlike in America, as if everything's a big deal. As if everything is a big deal, which is so immature. The management we have here in America is so immature. It's so childish. And I was telling one of the CEOs right now, are we even going to talk about that, man? It's so childish. It's so stupid. Okay? So, moving forward, all you have to do right now is call me up if you have a problem at 405-503-8511. This is Gavin Batista at the Prosperity Channel. Thank you and have a good rest of your day, because I need your rest. But in our Prosperity Channel, the best never rests. Thank you again.